We're here at Studio Ulster in Belfast, which is a £72 million investment. It's a virtual production facility, which is a collaboration between Ulster University and Belfast Harbour. I'm Gareth Andrews. I'm an associate architect at RPP Architects. We're an architects and interiors company based in Northern Ireland. Studio Ulster is part of a complex of film studios here in Belfast Harbour. We were commissioned to design this building, which houses various studios and this beautiful screening room at the centre of the building. This building is a new part of this existing campus, which houses existing film studios, and there's workshops to build sets and production offices. So there's around 30,000 square metres overall in the campus today. So RPP were appointed as architects and interior designers. We've worked through the campus and we're appointed for this building. So essentially, the brief for this space was to be a small, intimate screening room, and we wanted that to be somewhere that was warm, cosy, intimate and comfortable for people coming in here to watch what they've been making and what they're producing. So there was a lot of functional requirements in terms of getting the sight lines right, the volume right, suiting the equipment. So for the screen and for the sound were the key components. And then there's a lot of architecture and interior design implicitly and hidden around there in the background. For the timber, we selected a walnut. We wanted it to be warm and we wanted it to work well with a variety of lighting. So we have the house lights on at the minute, but when we dim it down to have a screening, we wanted that warmth still to be visible with the grain, the natural grain of the material. So when the house lights are off, we still have these LED strips which are embedded into the panels to really wash along. So give subtle lighting, but give that warmth and gradation to the timber to have that effect. When we worked through with LSA projects, they were very helpful in collaborating together to really try and help rationalise the design, to keep its uniqueness, but to make it improve the buildability, reduce the number of parts that were involved, so that were really helpful. So for this room, it was very important to get the geometry right in the first instance, and the substrates of the room, as it were. So its acoustics are a prime concern for us, as well as making sure we get the sight lines right. And so, for example, some of the walls on this room are 800 millimetres thick, because we really want to make sure there's good acoustic separation from noise coming in from outside and from noise in here bleeding out. So these incredibly thick, well-insulated walls are an important part. And then when it comes to the surface finishes and the materials, really acoustic absorption was a prime concern to bring down the reverberation times and make sure it suited the requirements of a top-level, high tier 1 sort of cinema specification. So for us, we have good acoustic absorption in the ceiling, which is just black acoustic tiles, so we have a Class A sound absorption there. And then the walls are where we really wanted to make the biggest visual impact, and for us, having absorption in the walls was a necessity. And so with the selection of the timber panels, with the nano perforations and acoustic insulation behind, we can meet that acoustic brief, but we really wanted the materials in terms of the warmth and the natural feeling of the timber to come through. And then with the geometry and the pattern of the timber as we've used them on the walls, we really wanted to have that visual impact and really show this isn't your standard high street cinema. This is a really bespoke, unique space for the people that will use it.